Imagine a place so far north that it is closer to the North Pole than it is to many major cities. This is Longyearbyen, a truly remarkable town on the archipelago of Svalbard. It sits nestled in a valley surrounded by magnificent sharp-peaked mountains and vast glittering glaciers. Finding Svalbard on a map is an adventure in itself. It is a small collection of islands floating in the Arctic Ocean, halfway between the northern coast of Norway and the geographic North Pole. This incredible location makes Longyearbyen the most northern settlement of its kind on our planet, a small, vibrant community thriving at the very edge of the known world. It is a frontier town in every sense of the word. Longyearbyen is not just a scientific outpost or a temporary base. It is a proper town, a home to more than 2,000 souls who have chosen to live in this extreme environment. This makes it quite different from other remote Arctic stations which are often inhabited only by researchers for short periods. Here, you will find families, a school, a supermarket, and even a university. The town is surprisingly colorful, with its wooden houses painted in bright reds, blues, and yellows, standing out beautifully against the stark white landscape of snow and ice. This splash of color provides a cheerful contrast to the long, dark winters and brings a sense of warmth and community to the icy wilderness. The town itself is quite compact, making it easy to get to know your neighbors and feel a strong sense of belonging. The community is a fascinating mix of people from all over the world, drawn here by the allure of the Arctic, for work in research, tourism, or mining. This international flavor gives Longyearbyen a unique and cosmopolitan atmosphere that one might not expect so far from everything. Despite its small size, there is a surprising amount to do, from visiting the local museum to enjoying a coffee in a warm cafe. It is a place where human resilience and a pioneering spirit are on full display every single day. Getting around this Arctic wonderland is an experience in itself. While there are roads within the small area of the town, they do not connect to any other settlements. The real vehicles of choice here are not cars, but snowmobiles. In fact, there are more snowmobiles in Longyearbyen than there are people. During the long winter months, these powerful machines are the primary mode of transport, used for everything from commuting to work to going on weekend adventures into the vast, silent wilderness. The sight of dozens of snowmobiles parked outside the supermarket is a common one, and serves as a constant reminder of just how different life is up here. Daily life in Longyearbyen follows a rhythm dictated by the extreme seasons. The community is close-knit, and social life is very important, especially when the weather outside is harsh and unforgiving. People gather in each other's homes, at the local cultural center, or in one of the town's pubs and restaurants. There is a strong spirit of cooperation and friendship, as residents rely on one another to navigate the challenges of Arctic living. Children play in the snow, bundled up in warm suits, their laughter echoing in the crisp, cold air. It is a life that requires a great deal of planning, from stocking up on supplies to preparing for the dramatic shifts in daylight and temperature. The town provides all the essential services one would expect, but with a unique Arctic twist. The supermarket receives its supplies by ship or plane, which means that fresh fruit and vegetables can sometimes be a rare luxury. Residents learn to be resourceful and creative with their cooking. There is a hospital, a post office, and even a sports hall, where people can stay active during the long, dark winter. The University Center in Svalbard is a world-renowned institution, attracting students and scientists who come to study the unique geology, biology, and geophysics of the Arctic. This academic presence adds a lively, intellectual energy to the town's atmosphere. Despite its remoteness, Longyearbyen is surprisingly modern and connected. High-speed internet allows people to stay in touch with family and friends across the globe, sharing their incredible experiences of life at the top of the world. Tourism is also a vital part of the local economy, with adventurous travelers arriving to witness the stunning landscapes, the unique wildlife, and the magical northern lights. The town's residents often work as guides, sharing their deep knowledge and love for this incredible environment with visitors, ensuring that tourism is managed responsibly to protect the fragile ecosystem. It is a delicate balance between welcoming the world and preserving their pristine home. The pace of life here is different. There is a sense of calm and a connection to nature that is hard to find in a bustling city. People take the time to appreciate the small things, like the first glimpse of the sun after the long polar night, or the breathtaking sight of a reindeer wandering past their window. Life is simpler, more focused on the essentials. The community organizes various festivals and events throughout the year to keep spirits high, such as the Polar Jazz Festival, and a celebration to welcome the sun's return. These shared experiences strengthen the bonds between the residents, and make life in this extraordinary place truly special. Living in Svalbard comes with a set of rules that are unlike anywhere else on Earth, and they exist for a very important reason: safety. The most famous and essential rule concerns the magnificent polar bears that roam the archipelago. There are more polar bears than people on Svalbard, and they are the kings of the Arctic. For this reason, it is a legal requirement for anyone traveling outside the main settlement of Longyearbyen to be equipped with a firearm and to know how to use it. This is not for hunting, but purely for protection as a last resort in the rare event of a dangerous encounter. This rule shapes how people interact with the wilderness that surrounds them. You cannot simply go for a casual stroll into the mountains without careful preparation. When you see students walking to the university or people heading out for a weekend trip, it is not uncommon to see them carrying a rifle slung over their shoulder. It is a stark and constant reminder that you are a visitor in a wild and untamed land. The locals have a deep respect for the polar bears and take every precaution to avoid them, understanding that this is their territory and we are merely guests within it. Another unusual law in Longyearbyen is that it is forbidden to die there. This might sound strange, but it has a very practical reason. The ground is permafrost, meaning it is permanently frozen. Because of the freezing temperatures, bodies buried in the local cemetery do not decompose. Scientists even discovered that bodies from a century ago still contained intact viruses. Therefore, anyone who becomes terminally ill or is near the end of their life is typically flown to mainland Norway. The small cemetery stopped accepting new burials many decades ago, adding another layer to the town's unique character. There are also strict regulations in place to protect the fragile Arctic environment. Svalbard is a place of pristine beauty, and there is a collective responsibility to keep it that way. Visitors and residents are taught to leave no trace, meaning everything you take into the wilderness must be brought back out with you. There are large protected areas, including national parks and nature reserves, where wildlife and landscapes are left completely undisturbed. These rules ensure that the incredible natural heritage of Svalbard can be preserved for future generations to experience and admire, maintaining its status as one of the last great wildernesses on our planet. The climate in Svalbard is, well, honestly extreme, and it really defines every aspect of life here. The winters are long, cold, and dark. For more than 4 months, from late October to mid-February, the town is plunged into the polar night. During this period, the sun does not rise above the horizon at all. The land is bathed in a kind of perpetual twilight or even complete darkness, lit only by the moon, the stars, and of course the magical dancing colors of the aurora borealis, or northern lights. Temperatures can drop to well below -20 or even -30 degrees Celsius, and yeah, a biting wind can make it feel even colder. Living without the sun for months on end is a profound experience that requires a significant adjustment. The people of Longyearbyen have developed ways to cope with the darkness. They keep their homes warm and brightly lit, creating cozy sanctuaries against the cold outside. Social gatherings, community events, and indoor activities become even more important, helping to keep spirits high and, combat the gloom. Many people actually find a unique beauty in the polar night, a time of peace and quiet reflection. The sky, when it's clear, is a breathtaking spectacle of stars, and the northern lights often paint the heavens with these ethereal green and pink ribbons. After the long darkness, the return of the sun is a major event celebrated by the entire community. In early March, the town gathers for Solfestuka, a week-long festival to welcome back the sun's rays. When the sun finally peaks over the mountains for the first time in months, a wave of joy and energy just sweeps through the town. This is followed by the season of the midnight sun, an equally extreme but opposite phenomenon. From late April to late August, the sun never sets, circling the sky for 24 hours a day. It is a time of endless daylight, boundless energy, and non-stop outdoor activity. In conclusion, Longyearbyen is a place of stunning contrasts and extraordinary beauty. It is a town where human ingenuity meets the raw power of nature. Life here is shaped by the presence of polar bears, the deep freeze of the permafrost, and the dramatic cycle of the polar night and the midnight sun. It is a community of pioneers, adventurers, and scientists who have chosen to make their home in one of the most challenging yet rewarding environments on Earth. To visit or live in Longyearbyen is to experience a world that is truly different, a small, resilient jewel shining brightly at the very top of our world.